Hi, everybody, and welcome to Beer, Wine, and Shine. For my very first video, I got some quirks to work out. I got two big old spotlights over there. If I look to my left or right, I can't see nothing, but you all can see me now, I think. I had one light up here that was too glary, one back there too glary, but I think we got the lighting maybe figured out for at least now. Microphone seems to be working a little too good, I think. For some reason, I can hear an echo when I play my videos back. Maybe I can edit that out. I don't know. We'll try to figure something out. Make this a little better. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get to it. Today, we're making a hard apple cider. And never mind the mess behind me. Getting ready for brew day. And this ain't one of them fake kitchens. This is a real kitchen where things happen. You're wondering what I'm sipping on today. Usually always sipping on something. This here is a pumpkin ale from Stillworks in Brewing. Big shout out to Stillworks in Brewing. Randy over there came up with this recipe. It's pretty good. I like it. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description, but I'm brand new at this. I'm not sure and how things really work yet with uploading and everything. I might get a little caught up with that. So if I do forget to put the link in the description, please forgive me. All right, now without further ado, I just heard that yesterday. Another channel said that. Anyway, you got to have good apple cider to make a hard apple cider, okay? Now this right here, this is the best apple cider I've ever had. Of course, I don't really try much else because this is good. I'd put this here apple cider up against any apple cider in the world. That's how good I think it is. I know exactly what they do with it. I mean, that you can get this stuff if you live local or at least local enough to be able to go. I mean, you can get it right off the spout. They don't do absolutely anything to it. It's got a whole lot of junk in the bottom. That's the good stuff. I'm going to be using a Belgian ale yeast today. Omega yeast, liquid yeast. I've never used it before. My local brew guy, he said that he uses this stuff, and he recommended it for my project here. So we're going to give it a shot. I got some allspice berries, some nutmeg, whole cloves, ground cinnamon. I'm sorry, cinnamon sticks, my bad. Now, the nutmeg. The nutmeg is a ground nutmeg. I would prefer to use whole nutmeg and crack it in half and throw it in the pot. I forgot to get some. A lot of brewers use it. It's ground. I like the whole stuff because you can take it out. When you put it in the pot or in the fermenter or whatever, you can take it out. Okay. Ground stuff, you really kind of can't do it. So I'm probably going to use it in a little bit of moderation just because of that fact. And all my spices today, I'm probably going to use a little bit in moderation because I'm going to be boiling and I'm going to be cooking it. My hope is that when I cook it, it's going to give me that cooked spice flavor. Okay. That's what I'm really hoping for. I'm going to go lightly on it because pretty much everything here is going to be to taste. You can do this recipe. You can follow it exactly. You can put in more spices, less spices, leave some out, whatever. Everything I do today is going to be to taste, and it's going to be to my taste. I'm the one drinking it, and that's just how it's going to be. But if I don't put enough in today, I can put some more in the fermenter. I can put some more into secondary fermentation. I can cold macerate it in a gallon jug until it's to my pleasing. Okay. You can put more spices in. You just can't take it out very well. It's pretty hard to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on it. I don't know how long my battery is gonna last. So, and I just realized I forgot to sanitize my fermenter here. So, all right, guys, I got my pot here. This is a 16 quart double bottom pot. I really like these pots. All my pots are like this. I got them at Walmart. They got an air bottom here. Really like them because I don't scorch stuff so bad. Or, well, I've never scorched anything in these. So, yeah. I got 2 gallons of cider. Now, I am going to be cooking this stuff. I'm going to be boiling it. So, the sanitization, you want to be clean, you want to be sanitary and everything like that. But when you're going to boil something, you're literally going to be sanitizing it while you're cooking it. So, if you happen to see me grab something out of my drawers here or something, it's during the boil, it's okay. This stuff is pasteurized. Put it in this bottle piping hot. It's clean. Okay. All right, guys. I put 2 gallons of my apple cider in here. Okay. So I put both gallons in here. I didn't do that on camera because, man, this microphone is just picking up everything. So I put them both in here. I've stirred this around. I'm going to get my thingamabobber here. Fill this tube up. Now, I do have some other equipment. You'll probably see me use some other equipment time to time because I have it. I do use it. If you don't have it, you don't have to use it. You can do this. I do like doing old school hydrometer though. Especially to get my bases. And then I'll do the other. Yeah, that's a 1052 all day. So that's what I'm starting out with, 1052. Now, what I'm actually going to do here, now that I finally got all the lighting and everything sort of figured out, I got to move everything, figure it out again. I'm not an expert. I'm just a dude that likes to make tasty stuff. Don't forget to take your notes. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over there on the stove. I'm going to boil this to reduce it. Okay. It is a 1052 right now. I need it to be about a 1090 to a 1095. I know that that's like 11 or 12%. Okay. Now I know that that's more like an apple wine. Okay. I get it. But before you turn me off, hear me out. There's a couple reasons I'm making this that high at start, because I'm going to be back sweetening this, some of this, with fresh apple cider to give it a sweet, alcoholic hard apple cider. So I'm going to add enough fresh apple cider to bring it from a 12% down to an 8%, which is where, in my professional opinion, a good beer should be. But I'm also going to keep some of it at the higher gravity because I'm going to show you how to do a hot hard apple cider. All right, guys. And one thing you got to remember, okay, when you're reducing something, you leave the lid off so that the water can evaporate. That's what you're trying to do. It's going to leave most of the flavor and the sugar. Now this has got a lot of flavor. This is really good apple cider. If you put the lid on it, that is going to, basically the water is going to come up, hit the lid, and then fall back down. Okay, you're not going to be reducing anything, but you will really get flavors to meld together. Like when you're doing a stew or something. It's just a little basic cooking 101, you know. So lid on when you're wanting to increase flavor and get things to cook and meld together. You leave the lid off when you're trying to reduce. Try me a different location, see if this works out a little better. Had to get me another one of the pumpkin ales. I will say that I have a newfound respect for all YouTube content creators. Y'all make it look easy. It's not. Plus, I'm nervous. This ain't the greatest video on YouTube, I'll tell you that. I'm trying. Bear with me. Anyway, enough of the nonsense. My apple cider is getting closer. Been over there reducing for quite a while, probably an hour. Getting closer. Last time I checked it, I think it was 1075 or something. But every time I check it, it's to the point where it's reducing quick. You know, it started off real slow, and now every time I check it, it's like 5 or 10 more points. So I'm going to go ahead and get my spices ready. I'm going to do 6 allspice berries. Now, I've never done this recipe before, okay? I've made a bunch of meads, so, I mean, I kind of know a little bit, at least for meads, like what tastes good. There's 5. I'm going to go with 6. Like I said before, everything that I do is to taste. So I think at the 10-minute mark, I'll just grab me a little sample in a jar, put it in an ice bath to cool it down so it don't burn the ever living heck out of my mouth, and I'll taste it. If it needs to go longer, I'll let it go longer. That's just kind of how you do it. You know, if you don't know, you test it. What I don't want is too strong. What was that? That was allspice berries. We got 6 allspice berries. I got 1 clove. I'm only going to do 1 clove because a clove kind of makes me a little bit nervous. I hear a lot of people saying it's overpowering. I've put 2 or 3 cloves in meads, and the meads turned out great along with the other spices. But I'm boiling. Nutmeg. The nutmeg is a ground nutmeg. I would really have preferred to use a whole nutmeg and crushed it or cracked it and threw it in, because then I could take it out. I forgot to get one today, and I'm not waiting till tomorrow to do it. So I'm going to put in, maybe, you know what? I think I'll just go 1.5. We'll just go 1.5. I think I'll just go ahead and stick with the 1.5 teaspoons of nutmeg. The reason that I'm really wanting to boil this, I'm really trying to get more of a cooked spice flavor. When you just put the spices in your mead or your beer, you do get a lot of spice, like the flavor. You get the flavor. But I'm really hoping for more of a cooked or baked flavor. I've heard some other people do it. That's what they said they got. Here's hoping. Like I said, never done this recipe before. Cinnamon sticks. We're going to go with 3 cinnamon sticks. Now, the cinnamon sticks, I was going to put them in the boil. A guy I like to watch, another shout out coming, is the Apartment Brewer. I like him. I like his videos. He does a very good job. I was watching his Christmas ale this year, 2022? And he said that sometimes when he boils cinnamon, sometimes it gets a little bitter tasting. So that kind of gave me a little bit of pause. I am actually going to kind of split the difference. I'm going to boil my spices, my nutmeg, my 6 allspice berries, and my 1 clove that I cracked in half and threw it in here. I'm gonna boil these for 10 to 20 minutes. I'm gonna throw these in after the boil and let it just heat steep. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm winging it. That's what I do. All right, folks. Kind of messed up. Kind of what this is all about, you know. Be able to show people how to fix mistakes. I make mistakes. What happened was I was over there messing around with my phone, trying to stutter along, trying to explain something, and I am using a refractometer. It is a automatic temperature control. It was like 1110. Oops. Like it's reduced. It was all the way up to here when I started, like where my spoon is. It was all the way up to here, and now it's there. I hope I even have a gallon left. That's okay, because I bought 4 gallons of apple cider. I could put some more in there. No big deal, just a little more flavor. All right, so I messed up. I was over here making a video and not paying attention. It started off reducing pretty slow, and then it took off. Like, it was reducing a lot faster, and I wasn't paying attention. So I end up being 1115 on my gravity. Using a refractometer, automatic temperature control. Could be a little bit off because, I mean, it is like freaking boiling. But I let it cool a little bit in the thing, and then I put it on there and then waited a little bit. So anyway, it's 1115. I want it to be 1195. So I'm going to add in 1 quart of fresh apple cider, or I'm sorry, 1 pint of fresh apple cider until I get it to the gravity that I want. No big deal. You know, mistakes happen. People mess up. This is how you fix it. All right, guys. After my little boo-boo there, I was at a 1015. I put in 1 pint, dropped it down to 1010. I put in 1 more pint. Okay. So it was dropping it down exactly 0.005 per pint. Now that's with my apple cider. Okay. I mean, this does have more sugar in it. So, you know, if you just add water, you know, that's going to happen a whole lot faster. So I went ahead and said, okay, I put in 2 pints. Didn't even check it. Just put in 2. Then I checked it. 1095 on the button. Luckily, I'd bought some more. I wanted a little extra to drink, you know, something for me, because this is good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and now I'm heating it back up because this cooled it down quite a bit. I'm heating it back up. I'm going to get it to a real soft simmer. And then I'm going to put my spices in there, my ground spices and my berries in there. And then I'm going to put the lid on it. Now, when you put the lid on it, that does not let it reduce because it evaporates, hits the lid, and goes right back down. But it does let the spices, or if you were making a stew, your vegetables and all that, it allows them to cook and all those flavors to just blend. Put the lid on there for 10, 15 to 20 minutes. Take it off the fire. Leave it covered so I don't have any more loss. Just let it sit there for an hour. All right, it just got back to I saw it was simmering. Just let's see, that's just a real light simmer right there. Okay. Take my spices and in she goes. Stir it up. Oh man, that smells so good. Spices instantly made it smell better. It smelled like just cooked apples is what it smelled like. Put that right back on there and just let it go. Now it was simmering just a little bit more than that. I took the lid off. I put just a little bit in there. That's cold water. That's just so I don't burn myself. And then I'm going to taste it. And if it needs to go longer, it'll go longer. If not, I'll shut the fire off. All right, so I tasted it. That's just getting flavor in there. I already shut the fire off. 10 minutes. It could definitely go longer, but I'm going to let it hot steep for an hour. I'm going to go ahead and throw my 3 cinnamon sticks in there now. Been an hour. Got me a little tiny sample here. Chilled it in a little bit of water, but really it's cooled down quite a bit. So, oh man, that is good. Super sweet. But man, that apple is a nicely cooked apple. I mean, it's everything that the apple cider is, but just enhanced. Yeah, that's great. But man, yeah, that apple flavor changed a bit. It definitely tastes more like a cooked apple. It's kind of hard to tell because it's so sweet, you know. I do think that it needs more cinnamon. I got 3 cinnamon sticks in there now. It's been hot macerating for an hour. So I think I'm gonna leave 1 cinnamon in during primary fermentation. This is going to go through a secondary fermentation as well. So if there's not enough, I can throw a fresh stick in. I don't want it to be like a cinnamon bomb. You know, I'm not trying to make Fireball, but I do want to be able to taste that there's cinnamon in it. And right now, I really kind of can't taste the cinnamon. The nutmeg, I'm pretty sure I can taste. The allspice berries, I can taste them too. But when this is all said and done, this may very well get more spices. But I can taste it. It is good. I mean, I do want it to be a little bit heavy on the spice, just because I am going to be adding more apple cider to it, back sweeten it, which means it's going to get diluted. I just don't want to go overboard. I'm ready for the next step. To be honest with you, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I might even just leave the spices in there. I'm going to taste it again because it's been sitting in there for quite a while now. So I'm going to taste it again before I make my decision. But I know that I definitely want more spice than what's in there now, or at least what was in there. And this picture is great. Okay, it's got numbers on the side. It's got a real point here. It's great. I got it off Amazon. Now I've sanitized all my stuff, and I am still going to use this though. I could actually just pour it right through there, but I'll make a mess. I want to get a final reading now that this is down to room temperature. And I'm going to use my hydrometer because, put that in there. I like to use the hydrometer to get an accurate reading. I use a refractometer, usually on the fly, just so that I'm not dipping into it like this all the time. But I do still like to check it with the hydrometer. My refractometer was reading a 1095. That was when it was really hot. I do have an automatic temperature control refractometer, which means that it's very little liquid that you're using. But oh yeah, it was reading a 1095, even with that temperature difference and everything. So my final gravity, oh boy, it's 1100. So it was close. All right. I took my note. Take notes. So this is 1100. That's 13%. Now that's a little higher than I'm kind of wanting. I could add in some more apple cider to drop it down some more. Yeah, I could stand to take it down all the way down to a 1090. That should be roughly right at 12%. And that's kind of as high as I wanted to go. Let me see how it tastes. So on the smell, always do a smell first, right? On YouTube. Well, it smells like apple. Now, I'm not tasting for the sweetness or anything like that. I'm tasting for the spices. Allspice berries are coming through a little bit on the back. A little bit of the nutmeg. But I'm going to be honest with you. That apple and the sweetness of it is just powerhousing right through everything else. So it's kind of difficult to tell. But I think I'm just going to leave it all in there. I think I am. All right. I switched over to my 3-gallon. I had sanitized this as well. So far I've used 2 3/4 gallon of apple cider. I reduced that down a lot farther than I intended because I was playing around with my phone and YouTube. So I added a little more fresh apple cider. And this thing is on 1090 on the button. I mean, that should give me right at 12%. Okay, according to my scale. Now, a lot of people do math and like, I don't know, break out the calculators and all that kind of stuff. Okay. This is a triple scale hydrometer. It's got your gravity readings right there. 1040, 1050, 1060. I just rotate it. It says right there, 5%, 6%, 7%. That's potential alcohol. Okay. If you take that number and when you ferment it out, if it goes all the way to 1.000, then you got all of your potential alcohol. Easy peasy. If it goes a little below, like say it goes to a 10 or to a 0.094, well then you just add 0.006 to, like if you started off with a 1060, okay, it went down to 0.094. 94 is 6 less than 100, right? So you take 0.006, you add it to 1060, that gives you a 1064. Then you just look to see how much your potential alcohol would have been then, which on this thing, 6, 7, 8, 2, 4, 8.5%. Okay. Close enough is good enough for the girls I go with. Let me tell you that much. I don't get all complicated about it. I don't use different charts or different numbers and do math, and I just look at the damn thing. Okay. Now you see me looking over here, it's because I got another blow up of it over there. Okay. So that's how I do it. If y'all want to do it differently, more power to you. It's your homebrew. You do it how you want to do it. I just try not to make the stuff too damn complicated. I mean, there's enough charts and formulas that you got to have to do certain things, especially when you're dealing with beer, wine, and shine. It's just too much. I just do it like this. I changed my number. I had a final gravity of 1100. I added more apple juice. Well, apple cider. We live in America. This is apple cider. So far as of right now, I put in 2 gallons, reduced the heck out of it, and then put 3/4 of a gallon of apple cider in it. So I've used almost 3 gallons. This ought to be some good stuff. It is got apple, let me tell you. Hi guys. So next we're going to be getting my yeast ready here. Going to be using this liquid yeast. Never used liquid yeast before. This is a Belgian Ale A, whatever the A means. It's a liquid slurry. My brew guy says that he uses it on his ciders and he really likes it. I kind of trust him, so we're going to give it a shot. He said just to let it warm up to room temperature and pitch it. On the back, it says at least 3 hours to warm. It is not, it's not warm yet. But also it says that if I'm brewing higher than a 1070 to make a starter. I know that some brewing channels will run a starter 24 hours. Usually when I do a dry yeast, I'm going to do it the same way that I normally do for a dry yeast. See what happens. I mean, I usually start it and then do my mead and then, or whatever I'm doing. And then by the time I'm done, like I'll shut it off and then let it frost up for 30 minutes or so and then pitch it. This needs to probably go for another 2 hours according to the thing. So this is how I do things. I had to get my scissors. Now I did tear that, but I got this little tab here and I just want to cut that off because I want to be able to pour it. Whew. That's some smelly stuff. I should really have a funnel for this. I'm not even going to lie. Oh, I was doing so good too till the end. I was going to be funny, but then I decided I was just going to make a mess. There still seems to be a little in the bottom there. I don't think I stirred it quite well enough. Just trying to get all that goodness off the bottom, you know. That's what all the good stuff is. Okay, now for the record, I should not have done it like this. I should have took that last pint of apple cider that I put in here, and I should have put it on my stir plate and put the liquid yeast in that and made a proper starter. This here is not a starter. Okay, this here is my jar of invert sugar that I made. I made it quite a while ago, last year I think. I just keep it in the refrigerator. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You know, you can look at it. I mean, there's absolutely no, and this is strong too. Like, so I literally usually just take a teaspoon and just put it in there. Because this is pretty strong. I just want to wake them up, get them eating on something, you know. And there's not a lot in there, so you know we're not trying to go all crazy. Like, I got to get this thing plugged in and get it stirring, and I'll just let it sit there for a couple hours. So this has been on the stir plate, little half attempt at a starter. Has been on the stir plate for a while. I usually let it sit and froth up. I don't know how much this liquid stuff is going to do that, especially I only put in 1 teaspoon of my invert sugar, just to kind of get them up and wake. I know this isn't a very good video, but if you did watch it and you've made it this far, I want to personally thank you because I've put a lot of effort into it. This stuff ain't easy. YouTubers sure do make things look easy, but it's there's a lot into it. Get my magnet out of here so I don't lose another one of those. Get it in there. I just put just a little bit of fresh cider in here, just to kind of, you know, I want to try to get as much of that good stuff out of there as I can, you know. That's it for right now. I'll check this here in a little while. Hopefully it kicks off. Hopefully it tastes good. You know, give it a try. Give it a try. Try your own spiced apple cider recipe if you don't like mine. It's fine. But really try it. This right here is at, should be, if it goes completely dry, should be 12%. My yeast thing I think goes up to 14 or 15% or something. So yeast should be okay on that. We're going to be dropping it down to 8% when it's all said and done. I might keg some of it at 8% and give it a little bit of carbonation. Keep some of it dry, stale, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to try to remember it unless I forget, but because I do that. I'm going to keep some of it at the 12%. Is to show you how to make hot apple cider on the fly. So if it's real cold out and you like warm or hot apple cider, I mean, if 8% is too strong for you, if 12% is too strong for you, that's fine. This is homebrew, okay? The sky's the limit on what you can do. I hope this turns out. I hope it's good. I would say I hope you like my video, but here's to you if you're still here. No, that sucks. Because I've got two of them. You probably can't hear a damn thing I just said. I hate that when people do stuff that makes noise right on the camera, on the microphone. Take 50. So this definitely ain't scripted, and I'm nervous. And the camera's back too far. I'm going to give a new location a spot. Or I don't even know what the fuck I'm trying to say. I just had a thought of my phone like coming out of this little holder and just falling right in there. Maybe I ought to hold on to it. What do you say? That's right? Refractometer? Yeah. Using that thing. Pay attention when you're doing stuff instead of making videos. I wonder how hot them things can handle. Hope I don't mess it up. That would suck, wouldn't it? Whatever. Try to edit that out, I guess. You know, retake things 500 times because I'm a stuttering, bumbling, nervous wreck. I'm pretty sure I lost a few of them down the toilet. I'll put it in a fermenter, and then I can't reach it with my magnet, and then I forget it's in there when I siphon, and then I clean the thing out, and it goes down the sink or down the toilet or something, you know, because it's just a bunch of yeast. You know, that's okay for that stuff. I don't know what's non-carbonated beverage. Flat. This one's so damn sensitive, like it picks up my breathing. So then I try not to breathe too hard, and that just makes me breathe even harder.